You are on the webinar, and I just want to know if it's okay for you, if you can hear me. So you just have to write me something on the chat to say hello, or if it's okay for you, if you can hear me well, I will start the webinar. Yes, okay. Okay, perfect. So hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I'm really pleased to introduce Join a School in France for you today during this webinar that will be specialized for the Master in Management program for international students just like you. So it's a pleasure to introduce our activities. The goal of this webinar will be for you to know how to apply through Join a School in France, and of course to have more information about the schools and about the environment in France and the French way of life, and also some specific key figures that can help you during the application. So to start, Join a School in France, for more than 30 years, Join a School in France recruits international students for top-ranked schools in France. So it can be management schools, such as HEC Paris, ESCP Europe, EM Lyon Business School, Schema Business School, and Audencia Business School, but also to recruit international students for the programs of the Schools of Excellence. These schools are specialized in specific fields such as engineering, fashion, gastronomy, perfumery, or animation. But now the topic of this webinar is really focused on the Master in Management. So what are the advantages and the mission of Join a School in France? As you maybe know, Join a School in France offer a joint application for several schools. So if you apply through Join a School in France, you will be able to apply once for 5 business schools. So the business schools are HEC Paris, ESCP Europe, Schema, Audencia, and EM Lyon. Okay, so this is just an only one application, and we will collect all your data on the platform, and we will send your application to the 5 business schools. So this is a real advantage. And then this is an opportunity for you because you are normally international students, and you can apply in your country because this is an online application. And we are here, we are an international team, so we can follow you, we can guide you all along the process. And if you have any question, we are here to answer. And do not hesitate to ask me your question during the webinar on the chat. So I will do my best to answer your question. Okay. Of course, another one advantage is that if all your application is complete, I will tell you by email if you are eligible or not. If you are eligible, I will organize an interview in your city. So this is a real advantage because I will recruit jury members in your country, and I will give you a convocation, an official convocation, invitation to go to your interview, and it will be an oral interview with jury members, and you will be tested on your motivation, on your professional project, and I will collect the information. I will add it in your application, and I will send to the 5 schools. Okay, so this is an interview just for you in your country. And of course, this is an access to the French culture, the French tech, and the French touch, because you will be in France, but you will be able to follow a program for international students. So the program will be taught only in English. So this is an advantage because you don't have to speak French to apply through Join a School in France and to go and to join a top-ranked business school in France. So you can have a diploma, a French diploma, but it will be in English. It will be taught in English. So there is a question. Are there any advantages to take the interview in France rather than somewhere else? Who would be part of the jury? So this is a good question. There is no advantage to take the interview in France. It depends on where you are. Wherever you are, you can apply. This is the advantage of Join a School in France because it gives the opportunity for foreign people, for foreign students who want to join a master in management in France. They can apply, but if you are in France at the interview time, it's okay. You can do it in France or wherever. Okay. And regarding the jury members are alumni. So I don't know if you know what is an alumnus, an alumni. In plural. An alumni is a former student. So we think at Join a School in France that alumni are the best people to do interview because they know really well the schools. They are already graduated and they can give you some tips or they can know if you are able to join the master in management or not. Do we have to provide a Gmail? Okay, so I will go. I will follow my presentation and I will answer your question. Baptiste, I hope it's okay for you regarding the interview in France and the jury member. So now, of course, you will be part of an international community because when you will join a master in management, you will be graduated in France, okay, but Join a School in France is part of the Chamber of Commerce in Paris. And also, the schools that we offer, ESCP Europe, HEC Paris, are member of the Chamber of Commerce. That's why they have an important and a huge international professional network. And they have many companies, they are partner with companies, and they can it can be a real advantage for you to enter into this international professional community. Then some key figures about the presentation of Join a School in France. Of course, international alumni community. You will be part of this in few years if you are accepted into these schools. And during the program, you will have 50% coursework, but also 50% internship because you will have a 6 months internship to do. It can be in France or in another country, but we insist on the fact that internships are really important for you to be prepared to the professional universe. So it can be 3 to 6 months internship. And I don't know if you can see the presentation, but 9 out of 10 graduate students get a job within 6 months. So this is an important point because thanks to this internship, you will be able to get a job before graduate. So this is also a good point for you. And of course, all the programs, so the master in management is taught in English. So this is not a problem if you come from another country. On the contrary, I encourage you to apply through Join a School in France. So just a little point to make clear. There is the direct voice and the international voice to apply to the schools. If you only want to go to EM Lyon Business School, or just you just want to go to Schema, you don't have to apply through Join a School in France, because if you just want one school, go directly to the schools. But if you want to maximize your chance to enter into one of these 5 business schools, you have an advantage to apply through Join a School in France, because your application will be sent to the 5 schools, and there is no distinction. There are common criteria, and we are asking for for documents, specific documents that are all the same for the 5 schools. Okay, so if you are hesitating between HC Paris, between Schema, between OM Lyon, and you have an international profile, of course, you go through Join a School in France, and there is absolutely no difference between the selection process. This is not an advantage to apply through Join a School in France or to apply directly to the schools. This is exactly the same. It depends only on what you want. If you only want one school, you go directly to the school. If you want more, you go through Join a School in France. Then, so regarding the programs, the Master in Management, this is really important to know that to apply through this, through Join a School in France to join the Master in Management, you must have a bachelor degree or a license degree. It depends. But because this is to join a Master in Management. So we ask for a bachelor degree or a license degree. It's really important to have this diploma to apply. So I can see a question. Alexandre, do we have to provide a GEM as no? Ah non, Baptiste. Just Baptiste and after Alexandre. I'm confused regarding this interview student. So regarding the application, the interview, I will go after. There is a part, especially for interview process. So I will explain you. Don't worry. And Alexandre, also for the jihad, etc. This is the second part. So just you must have a bachelor degree or a license degree. Without this diploma, you can't apply through Join a School in France, and you can't apply for the Master in Management. So this is also important. I don't know if it's your case, but there is 4 sessions within the year. The recruitment sessions for international students. So the first session is now. The deadline of this first session is October 7. So in less than a week, all the candidates have to complete their application before October 7. For the second recruitment session, the deadline is January 7. The third is March 3, and the fourth is April 20. Okay, so this is the 4 recruitment sessions. You have all the recruitment process with the time and the duration, and this is really important to notice that interview period. You can see that interview period is more or less 2 weeks, during 2 weeks, and you need to be available during these 2 weeks, because Faustine and I, we are only 2 in the team to organize your interview. So this is really important to be here, to be available during these 2 weeks, because we will organize you an interview, and maybe we will tell you maybe 5 days before Alexandre, you will have an interview in Paris on November 8th. We will send you an official invitation, of course, and you will have to confirm this invitation. And we will go to the center, to the evaluation center. The address will be written in the invitation, of course, and with your identity card, and you will do the interview with the jury members. So all the interviews will be planned on all the interview period that are written on the presentation. Of course, you can have all these dates and times, etc., on our website. Our website is joinaschoolin.france.com. And that's all. I think it's clear for you. Then regarding the recruitment process, I think this is an important point for you because we have a lot of questions, and of course we have in the team Lily. Maybe you know Lily and Laurel. They are really specialized in questions with the students. They are really active on WhatsApp, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. So do not hesitate to follow us, to ask your question on Messenger, by email, by WhatsApp, by WeChat if you come from China. You can ask your questions everywhere. So do not hesitate. We are here to guide you all along this process. And the process is to firstly, you have to go on joinasschoolinfrance.com. You file your application and you upload your documents. The documents are here. All the documents are written. So your identity card or a passport, all your diploma. So we need to have the proof that you are graduated with a bachelor or license. Of course, all the academics, you will need to upload the academic transcripts regarding your diploma, regarding your studies. But I insist on the fact on 2 points. The English test and the written test. The written test. So that's your question, Alexandre. Do we have to provide a GMAT score for ESCP application or ESCP test? Still working this year. I don't know. I can't answer this question because if you only want to go through to join ESCP Europe, you go directly with ESCP Europe and not with Join a School in France. But if you want to maximize your chance with Join a School in France, you need to provide a GMAT test or a TAJMAJ or a GRE or a CAT. So all the written tests, this is on the chat. I will write on the test on the chat for you. The written test: GMAT, TAJMAJ. Sorry if I write some mistakes. GMAT, TAJMAJ, GRE, or CAT. These are the written tests that we need. There is no difference between these tests. This is just because in certain countries there is no GMAT or there is no TAJMAJ. That's why we give the possibility to everyone. So you just have to. So if you apply through Join School in France, we ask for this kind of test. And this is really important to take it in advance because it takes time to get the results of this test, and we need and you will need to upload the official test taker copy. Then regarding the English test, the English test is mandatory. But there are some exceptions. This is not the English test is not mandatory for people who speak English for people with English as mother tongue, of course, and for people who have realized their study only in English. But you have to upload the proof that all your studies was realized were done in English, and we need to and of course, if you're American or Englishman or woman, of course, we just need to have the proof of your identity, and that you are American, for example. What is so regarding the written test, there is no minimum score, because all the 5 schools have their own minimum or at their own criteria. But through Join a School in France, we only ask for your test. If we have your test with your results, it's okay, and then we will send it to the 5 schools. But maybe, I don't know, Schema will have a specific score, a specific minimum score, HEC another one. So to apply through Join a School in France, there is no minimum score. You do your best, and if you think that it's not good for you, you do another test, and then you submit your final test. Okay. So I will write. I'm reading your question. Nesrine, I don't have the original copy of my diploma. Is it okay if I only upload a copy of it? I don't know what you mean about original copy. I think that, you just need to scan your diploma. That's all. So of course, this is a copy, and it's okay for us if we can see the stamps, or and your, for example, graduated with the bachelor degree, etc. It's okay for us. We have to see the name of the school, of course, but we need a proof that you are graduated. That's all. Will you please just play presentations once? Okay, you may have covered this, but this is the GMAT test mandatory. Yes, Michael, the GMAT, the written test is mandatory. Without this test, you will not be eligible. So this is really important to take this test in advance, because this is really long. This is a long process. So the English test and the written test are the main documents that you need to focus on. Because you're to scan your passport or to scan your academic transcripts, it's okay, but you really need to take in advance your test, your written test and your English test. And regarding the written test, this is the GMAT, the GRE, the TAJMAJ, or the CAT. How do you think? What do you mean by decides if you're eligible? I mean, regarding your question, is it okay for you? Can you hear me? What do you mean by join? Okay. J'ai perdu la question. I'm sorry. What do you mean by join a school in France decides if you are eligible? I mean that we have a small team, and for example, I will check all the applications, and I will check if you have a conform identity documents, a conform diploma, if you have an international profile. So the international profile means that you need to you must be you must studied at least 3 years in a foreign country. That means excepting France, outside France. So you need to have a bachelor degree or a license degree in another country, and you need to speak English. You need to have an English test or to be English. You need to have a written test with the scores. You need to pay for this application. So the application fees is around is 190 euros, because your files, your application will be reviewed by the team. We will send your application. So eligible, it's to check if all your documents are correct, are um, are true, because we check the authenticity. And your another important point, I will check if your diploma is recognized in your country, in the country of the diploma. So it's really important. Do not apply through Join a School in France if you don't have a diploma that is recognized in the country. Okay, this is really important. So I will check all of these criteria, and if it's okay, for me, you are eligible. And if you are eligible, it means that all your application is perfect for me. But it's not about the mark. It's just about the document. If all the documents are collected and they are uploaded, and they are really clear, and you are an international student, I will send the application to the 5 business schools, and it means that you are eligible. Then the 5 schools will see in details again your application, and they will see in details your mark. That's what, for example, your results, etc. And they will tell me if you are eligible to do the interview. So this is a little bit complex, but that's why it takes time. So I think it's okay for you if I don't explain very well. Do not hesitate to tell me. Sorry, I don't understand. Um, what kind of career profile would I be suitable for? With the master in management in the 5 top ranked business schools, I think you can do many things, many jobs, because all the 5 schools have a huge network, a huge international and professional network, and you can be, for example, a marketing manager, financial manager. You can do international project manager. This kind of job, you can do really everything, and everywhere, because this is the good point of this business schools. They are really involved in at an international level. So that's why I can organize interview for you in every country, everywhere in the world, because there are HEC Paris former students in London, in Mumbai, in China, everywhere. It's the same for the other schools. They are everywhere. So you will find a job, and a great job. Okay, I'm not here. How do you take the feedback from? Do you submit the essay to insurance company? You don't have to submit the essay to each schools. This is the advantage with Join a School in France. You just have to go on your application and you submit your essays on your application, on your candidate profile, and and I will send your complete application to the 5 business schools. Do you have any questions about this recruitment process? No, regarding the GRE scores, you just have to scan your your document with all your results, and I will send it to the 5 business schools. You just have to upload it on the written test document. You upload it on your application, and then if it's okay, I will give it to the 5 business schools. Regarding the letter of the recommendation letter, this is a good question. The schools prefer academic recommendation letter. This is really important to know that. This is not really a problem if you send if you upload a professional one, but it can be a disadvantage. So I suggest you to upload 2 academic recommendation letters. There is no advantage to apply through session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4. It's just for you. If you want to take advance, you can apply now. It depends, but there is absolutely not an advantage or disadvantage. This is just to have a constant recruitment process and to let everybody be comfortable with the date and times. That's all. Yes, I understand. That's why regarding the Mayank, um, that's why we accept professional professional letter, but because if you work, of course, it's better for you to collect a professional letter, but it will be good if you can contact a former professor. But it's okay if in your case it's okay, we accept it. Okay, so other parts regarding the interview process. So no, just the slide before. So first you apply and join a school in France. A little recap. You apply and join a school in France, you upload all your documents, all the following documents that are written on the presentation. You can ask us all your questions, etc. And if you take advance to upload all your documents, we can check in advance also. That's why it's really important not to wait for the deadline, because at the deadline, we will check your documents, but if it's not okay, it's not okay. So, but if it's not okay before the deadline, we can tell you, hey, dear candidate, this document is not okay. Can you upload again another one? So I suggest you to take time and to start your online application and to start uploading documents in advance. Then the second step, the schools and join a school in France decide if you are eligible for the interview. So with the complete application, I will collect all your complete application. I will send it to the 5 business schools. The 5 business schools will give me the results if you are eligible or not to do the interview. And if you are eligible to do the interview, I will send you an official invitation. And I will organize an interview, especially for you in your country or in a city or in the country really close to your country, and you will do an interview with jury members that are former students, and after this interview, you will know 2 weeks later, 2 weeks or less than a month later, if you are admitted to the schools. So regarding the interview process, sorry, there are questions. My dream schools are HEC and ESCP. What should I do between applying directly or going through John's procedure? Or can I maximize my chances? I think in this case, I think it's better for you to do only one application. If you want HEC Paris and ESCP Europe, you just have to do one application, and you can have HEC Paris, ESCP Europe, EM Lyon, Schema, Audencia. So I think for you, in your case, this is better to apply through Journal School in France, of course. 5 business schools are selected by me or by your side. I'm sorry, Swapnil. I don't understand these questions because if you apply through Journal School in France, you apply to the 5 business schools. That's all. And this is not selected by you. This is the schools that will give you the result. The schools are EHEC Paris, ESCP Europe, Schema Business School, EM Lyon Business School, and Audencia Business Schools. But don't worry. This presentation is registered. You will receive the replay tomorrow. So if you want to have if it's a little bit quick, you can ask me a question. Of course, the email address is join-a-school in France at cci-paris-bf.fr. You can write all your questions to have more details at this address, and you can go on. No, sorry. You can go on joinasschoolinfrance.com for more information, and you can have all the information that you want regarding the interview process. You, as I said, I will tell you if you are eligible or not. Eligible to do the interview. This is the first step. And the interviews are organized in French institutions abroad, such as the Chamber of Commerce, embassies, Campus France, Lycée Français, other partner schools. So in a French institution in your country. And regarding the interviews, this is you will be with 2 or 3 or 4 maximum jury members. The jury members are alumni from EHEC Paris, ESCP Europe, EM Lyon, Schema, Audencia. And it will be, so there is a mistake because the interview will be in English, not in French, sorry. Only in English, because the program, the Master in Management program will be taught only in English. So now the interviews will be in English. And it will be about your professional projects, about your motivation, about your general culture, more about your personal aspects. And they will not test you on a specific data, or no, it's on your motivation, on you. It's really focused about you, your personality. and some key figures. Of course, yes, in fact, we have more than 60 interview centers worldwide. So I'm in charge of organizing your interview. And now, yes, last year we organized more than almost 1,000 interviews in the world. And this is another important point. When you will do your application, your online application, it's really important to precise your interview center, your interview location. And if you're not sure, please send us an email, because this is really important, because we will organize your interview. And if you tell us 2 days before the interview, sorry, I'm not in Beijing, I'm in Paris, we can't do anything. So this is really important to know the interview period, and to know where you will be during this period, and to tell us to organize your interview if you are eligible. No, there is no possibility to do the interview by Skype. We insist on the fact that it's important to see you, to know you, and to have more details about you, about your professional, about your background, to your motivation, and the physical aspect of the interview is really important through Journal School in France. There's no, thank you for the question. There is no specific format regarding the recommendation letter. The format, the only thing that we ask is to see the contact of your referee, of your professor, or the director, or I don't know. It's really important to have the contact of this person, and to see that you are an excellent student, of course. No, it can be on 1 page, 2 pages. It depends, as you want. Then, some tips for you. I suggest you to go on journalschoolinfrance.com and to see the rules, the FAQ. The FAQ is really important, because this is all the questions that all the students are asking all the time. So we already have written some predefined answer that can help you. So also to see the rules of Journal School in France and the schools, and to download the catalog with all the program, with all the master in management program for the 5 business schools. You can see also our video about tips for candidates. You will see on this video that so if you wait just a minute, I will search for this video. No, but whatever. So you will have this video on the website. This is tips for candidates, and the candidates were in Paris during the interview last year, and they will give you some tips for you for the interview. You can also participate in the other webinars, because I have a lot of questions. So maybe I think that you are really active on the chat, and it's really good. So it can help you with the questions of the others, can help you to understand better the process and the application through Journal School in France. And of course, you have to follow us on social media, because we publish all the time actualities, news about the schools, about tips for you also. So we are really active on Facebook. You have to add us on the Facebook group. You can go on WhatsApp. If you have quick questions, go on WhatsApp and we will answer you. Just to recap, you need to have an international student profile. You need to anticipate your actions. That means that if you listen the presentation, focus on written tests and English tests, and of course your recommendation letters, because you have to ask for your professor, etc. And that's all. So for the contacts, we are four, and we have also Laurel, that is our internship joint school in France. You can contact us through WhatsApp, by phone, through our email address, and you can go on joinsschoolinfrance.com. And of course, we are present on all the social media here. So I think it's clear for you. Do you have other questions? Of course, you will receive the replay of this presentation to see it again, to watch it again. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week in France. If you have questions, do not hesitate. We are here to help you and to guide you in order to have you in France in our business schools, because they are really beautiful business schools. They are one of the best business schools in France, and they are really recognized all over the world. That's why it's really important to take time to do the best application as possible. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. See you.